Thank you, Mega. My name is Michael Hoffman, and I'm the president of Government CIO Media and Research. I'm joined today by Maheen Mirza, Director, Federal Healthcare with Dell Technologies. We're excited to have Maheen join us today and give us a breakdown of how Dell Technologies is working with federal healthcare agencies on areas such as data analytics and IT modernization. Maheen, could you talk a little bit about your role at Dell Technologies and how Dell Technologies works with healthcare agencies, both in the private and public sector?
Sure. Thanks, Michael. I'm delighted to be here this morning. So again, I'm Maheen Mirza, and my role at Dell Technologies is that I lead the team that has the honor of working with the U.S. federal health agencies on the important work that they're doing to make healthcare accessible to our military, to our veterans, and to our citizens. We do have a very robust healthcare practice over at Dell Technologies, and our experience with those health organizations continues to grow. And just to put it in perspective, over 10,000 hospitals worldwide deploy Dell Technologies healthcare solutions. 62% of those hospitals use our desktops and our laptops in helping them transform the way they work. 47% use our servers, and 67% deploy our storage solutions. And 93% of those hospitals are virtualized by VMware. And obviously, we are working with them on all of their cloud strategy, whether it's public, private, or hybrid. My team specifically, though, is responsible for the work that we do with the federal health agencies, which does include Defense Health Agency, Department of Veterans Affairs, all of the operating divisions of Health and Human Services, and the Social Security Administration. And all of these agencies are in the forefront of the challenges and transformations that are happening in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. And all of them are looking at on how technology can make healthcare delivery more reliable, accessible, and safe. And just like we just heard Bill Tenston speak in the keynote, today's discussion is all about how agencies are using data and technology to achieve better outcomes, healthcare interoperability, and innovation. I think all of us are very aware that the data's value has increased significantly in the last couple of years. And specifically in healthcare, if we can appropriately analyze, we can create a significant impact on how that data can be utilized. But IT modernization is one of the first steps that has really allowed us to harness the power of this data capital and turn it into information that can provide actionable insights. And then, as we also heard on the keynote, data interoperability is also very crucial. We heard Bill speak earlier about the transformation that he's leading with the firm supporting telehealth over the past year and creating a single common federal electronic health record. But again, the foundation of making these innovations really comes down to a modern IT infrastructure and an infrastructure that is going to be interoperable and not siloed. I don't know if you're aware, Michael, but medical data actually doubles every 73 days. So just imagine that the amount of data at speeds and volumes that we never previously imagined. So I think the key question that we should be asking ourselves is, how do we turn this data into information and insight? And how do we treat data as one of the most important assets that a healthcare entity is going to have? And the question we should be asking ourselves is, how do we unlock that data capital that is being generated every second? Obviously, when we will do our work with DHA and with VA and we navigate the complex world of IT modernization, we are committed to serving as a trusted partner to them to help drive this transformation so that the government can focus on their more important end user missions.
Maheen, you spoke earlier about data capital. Can you talk a little bit more about how Dell is utilizing innovation in the area of data analytics?
Absolutely, I can. Yes. Like I said, medical data doubles every 73 days. However, we are often collecting and storing this data in very diverse application silos. Some may be existing in the EHRM systems. Some might be in the PACS system. Some might actually be getting collected on smart devices such as Fitbits or Apple Watches, etc. So the question on how do we unlock that data capital? Do we create a data lake? Do we look at technology such as Dell Boomi? But whatever you do, I think you have to keep in mind what your goal is, which is how you use the data to create business impact. And for healthcare, it would be, how do you provide better customer care, or how do you gain efficiencies on the back end with claims processing? Therefore, innovation like AI and machine learning is critical to making use of that data. It holds obviously great promise as agencies try to see how they can use the data to combat the pandemic. But again, the first step is an investment in modernizing IT infrastructure. If you have the right infrastructure in place and you develop a forward-looking strategy that considers data needs and each individual workload, you can ultimately save resources in the long run. And high-performance infrastructure is a necessity because of the 1,000 times more data that is being created by 1,000 times more users. And if you don't do anything, then you will break traditional IT. We are privileged at Dell that our vast portfolio provides us the capability to work across public and private healthcare organizations to help them in this digital journey. And we are helping them making data analytics, AI, and machine learning a reality, driving the new era of human to machine relationship. And one of the examples and the way that we do this is through our Ready solutions. Our Ready solutions for both high performance computing, artificial intelligence, and data analytics are optimized rack level systems with servers, software, networking, storage, and services that are designed to just allow you to add data. And they're scalable and they're built with best in class stacks to deliver speed, confidence, and savings. And it allows us, with our expertise in working with those 10,000 hospitals that I just talked about earlier in our conversation, to build to the specific requirement and challenges that a specific customer may have. So with the portfolio, whether you're looking at compute, storage, cloud, or edge computing, we also tie that up with flexible financial solutions with our secure supply chain, which is very, very important in government. And then we tie it all together with a partner ecosystem, whether that partner ecosystem is industry partners like Intel or NVIDIA, or it would be federal systems integrator partners or VAR partners who all do business with the respective agencies.
Okay. To go back to infrastructure, this is something that government IT executives consistently bring up as a real challenge. And this is somewhere that Dell Technologies really excels. Could you talk a little bit more about how the infrastructure, the importance of the infrastructure really helps the health IT advances?
Absolutely, I can. So again, to be effective in the digital transformation journey, you really need to look at top to bottom technology. You have to make sure you have the right devices. You have to make sure that you have the proper security measures, especially with just what occurred with the SolarWinds piece. And you have to make sure that you have the infrastructure upgrades built into your cycle. One of the biggest things that we talk about from a transformation perspective is everybody's migration to the cloud. I think we are at the stage right now where everybody knows that cloud may not necessarily be the most cost-effective solution. So they really have to look in when they're investing in cloud is to remember that cloud should not be a destination. It really needs to be an operating model. And agencies need to think about workloads, applications, and use cases in order to make sure that they're operating in a multi-cloud environment. And that multi-cloud environment should allow them to easily scale up or scale down depending on the workload. And it should provide the transparency needed to enhance data protection and provide the processing power that is necessary to drive the actionable insights from data and embrace emerging technologies such as Internet of Things and artificial intelligence or machine learning. At Dell, we are 100% focused on delivering this new operating model. Our goal is to deliver a cloud model that is consistently delivering the best of the world, whether it's private, public, or to the edge. And our infrastructure is built for a cloud-centric world, enabling all of the citizens, the warfighters, and the federal workforce to operate more efficiently, reduce costs, and accomplish more. We try to bring together the power of Dell Technologies to remove the cloud complexity by offering consistent operations and infrastructure across IT, regardless of whether it lives on-prem or off-prem or on the edge, right? So hopefully that answers the question.
Really. So from a technology standpoint, how does this help government agencies advance in the long run?
Sure. We accomplished a lot in the last year. I think the COVID-19 pandemic rapidly forced many changes for government agencies, especially those that deal with healthcare. technology advances and the data that is being generated and available for us to mobilize against COVID-19 is happening in a way that would have been unimaginable even a couple of years ago. The money that the government agencies that spend in IT modernization has enabled them to realize the art of the possible, whether that meant increasing and expanding upon the telehealth capabilities or enabling telework in a matter of days, right? We all know the success story of the VA and how fast they moved to go from an on-prem agency to the telework environment, and Dell was very privileged to help them with that transition. But the changes that agencies are making are positioning themselves for long-term advancements and acceleration of digital transformation. Many of them have started on the journey with their move on that, but they need to do more. As they continue to modernize, many have accelerated their path by moving to cloud environments, but they need to be strategic about what their long-term needs are and not look for an easy button. They are seeking flexibility and the agility of a cloud operating model, but at the same time, they need to be mission focused. So they need to make sure that they're crystal clear in regards to their requirements. In my opinion, moving forward, these changes will have a very positive impact that goes beyond technology, which will also influence culture, and it will also influence talent acquisition. Most of the talent that comes to the government today is very passionate about the mission, but they want to know that they'll be able to efficiently get their work done. And it is going to be possible with the digital transformation to focus more on the mission, making work with the government more attractive. So I think the key takeaway in this message is that the government agencies have accomplished a lot in the last year or so. However, the key is not to stop. Keep innovating and take advantage of everything that technology has to offer. And there are trusted partners available in the industry to help the governments achieve their missions.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Maheen. Incredible opportunity to learn more about what Dell Technologies is doing in IT modernization, data analytics, and advancing infrastructure.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Up next, we're going to have our first panel of the day, and we're going to have that panel introduced by a video. The panel is going to be focused on modernizing medical records and healthcare informatics. So enjoy the rest of the morning and afternoon. Thank you.